Hello, good afternoon, guys. This is Nikhil Gupta, and I'm going to represent my survey paper in machine learning. The title of the paper is Detecting of Phishing Website, Cryptojacking URLs, Adblock Circumvention, and Adversarial Watermarking and Phantom Attacks. So, starting with my first paper, Adversarial Watermarking Transformers, it is it is described as towards tracing text provisions with data hiding, and the authors are as follows on the screen. Powerful language models are built up to handle huge amount of data. There is a huge amount of data being created, collected and stored daily in our day-to-day life. This data can be both an advantage and disadvantages. This data can be used an advantage to train models and as an disadvantage to train illegal activities. Adversarial watermarking transformer is a technique to watermark the transformation done on the data. It is clubbed with a trained encoder and decoder and adversarial training. Misuse of the powerful data is also been taken place like passing fake information and fake laws and fake news. So to avoid this misconception, some of the objectives prescribed are language watermarking, data hiding with neural network, adversarial watermarking transformer, evaluation access of effectiveness, secrecy, and robustness. One of the example and overview of the text watermarking solution is as shown below. Here, the input text is been passed through the hiding network with the presence of a transformer, decoder, and encoder. The input message is been transferred and checked for the plagiarism. The plagiarism, after checking the plagiarism, the transformer encoder revealed whether the text is plagiarized or not. AWT is considered as a novel approach that is used as a data hiding a learned end-to-end framework in natural language. It can be also used as a watermarking framework. There are different variants of the model present to utilize and improve the following qualities. Text utilities, text secrecies, and text robustness are the major variants of the data to be watermarked. Text secrecy is analyzed and visualized by the modified text statistics, and they are evaluated on different adversaries. Robustness is studied under the different types of models. The model approach a better trade-off value between the evaluation axis. It gives a better result compared to a rule-based substitution baseline. The total work has been summarized into four different types. The language watermarking, steganography, model watermarking, neural text detection. The language watermarking is a text-based watermarking technique where the text is been watermarked with some model modeled modeled tools. Steganographic is a type of action where the data is been hidden under the image or a text. Model watermarking is a type of is a technique where the model is been watermarked by the tool. Neural text detection is a form of detection technique where neural networks is been take place. The neural network tool is been supported and analyzed, and the text watermark is been found. So CV inspector is one of the automated detection of an ad block circumvention. Ad blockers have been increased over the last decade. Some of the new updated services bypass ad blockers by puzzling the content of the sites. Publishers can reinsert the ad by bypassing the ad blockers through the third-party services. Some of the third-party services and CV providers are AdDefend, AdThrive, and Publica. The community evolved by the ad blocking established anti-circumvention effort to filter the list. The ACVL anti-circumvention filter list supports many services like extended syntax and advanced capability to hide DOM elements. CV Inspector was introduced to detect whether a browser or website consists a CV block service or not. CV Inspector includes an automated data collection software with different execution analysis on the list, an algorithm to prioritize and expected ground truth labels, a supervised ML classifier with features that capture obfuscation of the web services. The CV inspector approach for detecting ad block circumvention automatically. The, the execution of the JavaScript on the ACVL filters check the contents of the blocking elements such as web request blocking, element hiding, advanced JavaScript abortion, and advanced element hiding. ACVL is a very powerful because it exploits the inner weakness of the filtered loads. Obfuscation-based circumvention allow publisher to perform advertising that are financially more lucrative. Adblock relies on the list of the filters to detect the ads. Rules in the filters are manually typed by the end user. M- Some of the some of the countermeasures for ad blocking are whitelisting, anti-ad blocking, and circumvention. Whitelisting is a technique where the accepted ads are been not intrusive in nature. A Java anti-blocking technique is a technique where a JavaScript program to detect ad blockers and check whether if ads is present or not. And circumvention is a clock-based and obfuscation-based circumvention are two type of circumvention in our work. Our CV inspector is also a circumvention technique. Here is a pictorial represent of anti-blocking and obfuscation-based circumvention. Here, the first anti-ad blocking technique, the URL is been passed and detected through a anti-ad blocking JavaScript where it shows the warning of a message that an ad blocker is been detected. Please remove the ad, disable your ad blocker. The second obfuscation based circumvention is part of the anti-ad blocking. Here, the JavaScript is been here the JavaScript is been updated through an add request obfuscation, then circumvention server, where the server send and request to the ad server to send an ad, and the ad is been the external ad is been present on the URL. Gala, 3D computation for linear algebra in privacy-preserved neural networks. In neural networks, HE-based circumference computation are the calculation based to reduce the permutation operation. But this operation take a large amount of GPU workforces. So the author implemented GALA, greedy computation for linear algebra in neural network. Linear-based computation on homographic encryption is a combination of addition, multiplication, and permutation operation. Encrypted vector and plaintext weight metrics are the input values for the server, and the output is a conventional dot product. A row-wise weight matrix is designed and encoded with the row encoding share RAS to reduce the effort of the operation. And a first add second permutation approach is considered to reduce the number of permutation operation of the conventional neural network with the factor of channel Ci and Cn respectively. The Gala streamlines the linear computation in neural network models. The homographic encryption based computation consists of three basic operations: the homographic addition, homographic multiplication, and homographic permutation. While performing a linear computation, the cost and time are consumed a lot. Gala aims to reduce the permutation operation to decrease the overall computation time. Gala is a plug and play module to boost the efficiency of the model. It also analyzes the noise and the system security of the data. Here is an overview of a CNN working of a CNN model. The input image is considered with UW, XUH, and XCI, where W and H are width and height of the image. It is passed through a convention. The conventional then first takes the input value with the kernel and cross multiplies is to get a conventional value and gives as a vector output. Then the vector output is been passed through an activation where the activation takes the input as a vector input and perform functional operation on the value. Then it is passed to the polling. The polling takes the input and divide the divide into a small number of objects, and the objects are being maxified and collected as four variables. Then the then the value is passed to the dot product matrix where the value of the weight matrix is multiplied is dot producted to an input, and the weighted sum is being calculated. and the weighted sub is been passed to the output classes. Then the output classes divides whether finds whether the object is a cat, dog, or an animal. Here it represents the output as a cat. The best module chooses the operation which is the least expensive and costless. It is designed a kernel grouping to minimize the permutation operation for the conventional. Ghana demonstrates and outperforms by boosting the runtime. The combination of cloud computation and advanced algorithm enables the privacy preserved system and are good examples of practical examples in the near future. Minus a lightweight real-time cryptojacking detection system. There are a number of mechanisms that analyzes the detection dynamically. This feature requires cryptojacking malware for mining data, which causes significant overhead. Due to this limitation, developer of Minus to exploit. Minus is a lightweight cryptojacking system which detects the presence of VASP-based mining in a real-time scenario. Minus is built on an image-based classifier technique. Researchers provide information about miners and end-to-end framework to detect cryptojacking. It was trained and evaluated with a massive amount of data set. Minus was reevaluated with the real web pages where it achieved a high accuracy and it was able to identify the presence of cryptographic malware with minimum resources. One of the example were analyzed given an output of 6 within 6.5 within the usage of 6.5% of RAM and 4% of the CPU. Minus was able to fetch all the cryptographic URLs within the 25.9 milliseconds. Here is an overview of the Minus framework. You, here the user is browsing the website, and if the URL of the website is passed to the VASP binary autocollector, the VASP binary autocollector passed it to preprocessor technique, and it forms the grayscale value. The grayscale value is passed to the VASP classifier, and the classifier no- classifies whether the data is uh, uh, whether the data is cryptojacked or not. Then it notifies the notifiers, and the notifiers send back the request to the user browsing website. Here is the explanation of the diagram uh, given back. This is how this is how the working of the Mino framework tells whether the URL is a benign or malicious. Minus capture the malware in a unique way. The VASP classifier helps to a lot to identify the cryptojacking URLs. In fact, grayscale image of the inputs malware samples were analyzed in the VASP binaries. It is a very it uses a very less runtime overhead. The other model uses more uses of CPU, RAM, but the Minus does not rely on dynamic features. Minus does not require web pages that help run the tool for a certain amount of time to extract the relevant features. The last paper, The Phantom of the ADAS, the one of my best paper I read. Here, the author discusses about the challenges and the implementation of attacks on the Tesla automated autopilot mode remotely, attack which forced by an attacker using random traffic signal signs, and he also discussed the other attacks like projection Ghostbuster to check the effectiveness of the model. In the research paper, the author drawn the limitation of AI model with the exploitation by the attack. Some of the weakness of the advanced driver assistance system is digital image is considered as a real object. Images should be appeared briefly to get it detected. Split-second phantom attacks are a type of attack in which an optical illusion is being displayed to challenge the CV algorithm. To solve these phantom attacks, Ghostbusters were deployed. Here is an example where Tesla's autopilot observation were made. Right hand side is an example where we can see a speed limit of 90 is been recognized by the Tesla automated car. Computer vision algorithms gives the standard challenge to the artificial neural network. The sensors present on the Tesla automated car are so accurate that one of the author discussed that the sensibility of sensor is far better than the human driver. But Tesla car can be tricked by considering obstacle to spoof and jamming attacks to an integrated sensor. Fishnet, zero-day phishing website detection by visual similarities. One of the major and the most upcoming threat in today's life is attacks. A number of tools have been implemented to de-nullify the attacks, but there will be one more alternative